Don't think logically about how it would be done, but what feature or accessory would you love to see on a ski if how to make it work isn't a concern? Chris, okay. Good question. I liked the concept. Not the execution needed work, but was a decent was a decent execution. Just needed fine tuning of the IS suspension system. The CD suspension system was very forgiving. My father turns 80 this year, and I put him on the last year of the GTX S. So it must have been a 155. And, white and like kind of a champagne gold. But it had Ergolock, had a narrow pinch seat. And the reason why I bring this up was that my father was in a really rotten accident in like 2011 and shattered the socket of his pelvis. The femur just shattered the socket. And so they had to just lag screw and bolt and drill, and they had to basically rebuild the socket, the hip socket of his pelvis. And so he's got a lot of pain in that hip, in his right hip. And it just drives him crazy. But he still wants to go jet skiing. Well, I took him out on that one. And I said, hey, let me know what you think about this one. Because like my wife, Heather, doesn't like the suspension ones. But I want to know how you feel. And I took him for like a 100-mile ride. And I said, let me know if you want to turn around. Let me know if you're getting worn out. And he came to me and he goes, this damn thing's a Cadillac. He's like, I can't believe it. He goes, I love the narrow seat, but then the seat, he says, I can feel the suspension working, but it hasn't really. I'm like, is it kind of weird? Is it wobbly? He goes, no, man, I really like it. And I mean, this is the guy who got me into jet skis in the 80s. So I was like, okay, cool. He really likes it. And I actually wrote a letter to corporate with a picture of my dad going, hey, just so you know, this thing actually really works out for, old dudes with bad hips. So anyway, I remember that being like, okay, that stuck out, and I try to put people on skis when I get one. I go, try it out and let me know what you think. And people are like, this thing's too damn fast, or this thing's uncomfortable, or I like the storage, or whatever. So anyway, suspension needs help. I don't like the whole deck being suspended. I'd rather have the seat and the steering and maybe your feet being planted, because I think your feet being planted, that was what was so off-putting about the last iteration of suspension for Sea-Doo, was that your feet were moving with the whole thing. And you were like, I don't know where I am. But I think with the footwells being planted and your butt and your handlebars being suspended, I think you're in better shape. So I'd like to see a hybrid of the XP suspension and the IS suspension. For sporty skis need way more adjustability. Sporty skis need a couple things. Either drop tabs, trim tabs, a drop tab plate, or a drop nozzle. I can't believe drop nozzles are not standard equipment. Like on an RX-PX. How is a drop nozzle not standard equipment on an RX-PX? Can you imagine what would happen if there was an RX-PX XX, or I don't know what the hell you'd call it. How many more initials can you put on it? But I would love to see, I'll tell you what, you can do what a lot of like motorcycle manufacturers do and a lot of other manufacturers, and you can cross brand. So if you, like I told the guys at Kawasaki, you're missing the boat and not labeling a Monster Edition black and green Cowie. Like, what on God's green earth is keeping you from doing this? But that being said, I'd love to see a handling centric GP, a handling centric RXPX. It could be a Riva Racing Edition handling package installed by the factory or installed by the dealer on a ski. Handlebar setup, sponson setup, ride plate intake grate, something. How badass would a handling package be out of the dealership? You know, and you got like special Riva wrap or Riva something or other. I think that'd be badass. So, and I'm not asking for 350 horse. I'm talking for handling, just sponsons and a ride plate. Oh, for Sea-Doo, change the intake rate, whatever, and just make it just a corner snapper. You know, just absolute neck snapping cornering machine. I think that'd be really trick. 2022 now, so it must have been 2017. 2017, I'm in a conversation with what was his name? He was the brand manager for Sea-Doo for a long time. And I was across the table from him. And he looked at me and he goes, Kevin, what ski don't we offer? And I laughed and I said, the FXHO Cruiser. And he's like, we have a GTX. It's great. GTX. And I go, no. What you're missing about the FX Cruiser, HO, not SVHO, is you're missing the Sturgis rider. And they're like, what the hell are you talking about? And I said, ride this one with me. And I said, you need to make something for the guy who gets on his ski with his old lady and they cruise for days. I'm not talking go for a day ride. I'm talking this is a 3-day ride where they bring food, they bring changes of clothes, they ride to a marina that has a hotel. They are doing a 3-day weekend. I have ridden with these people. All right. They spend money. They're older, 55 and above. They want the fuel mileage. They want the comfort. And they're like, really? I said, yeah, really. You need to make a GTX that gets the best fuel mileage, has the best fuel capacity, has storage, watertight storage, fuel storage, has everything. Get these long hauler people who do freaking 3-day rides or do the Tennessee 600 and they go from hotel to hotel to hotel and they bring all their stuff with them. Or the guy who wants to go skiing and he wants to ski to a location and camp. You need to consider that guy. And they're like, okay. And it was so funny. It was like 2 or 3 months later, I had the exact same conversation with Kawasaki. No joke. They asked me, like, what ski should we build? And I said, I'll tell you the exact same thing I told Sea-Doo. They're like, we already do it. I'm like, no, you don't. No, you do not. You need to consider these guys. How about the guy who wants to bring all of his camping gear, who wants to bring a tent, wants to do this, okay? Fish Pro's close. But the Fish Pro is right. Fish Pro is going towards a very big, established audience. The long hauler, gold wing type ski, it's not an established audience.
Hey guys, thanks for hanging out. This clip was taken from our weekly podcast that we record here every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to watch the whole video, you can go to the Watercraft Journal's YouTube channel, go to playlists, and then click on live sessions. You're going to see it there. Otherwise, go ahead and leave a like, a comment, and definitely subscribe to the channel. It helps us grow. And again, thanks again for watching our videos, and we hope to see you soon.